Alright, so good day. So this is another tutorial series, and our objective for today is going to be centered around union. So I'll write objective first. Objectives centered around union, centered around intersects, and except. So before we start, because we're going to create two tables, so let's just define what union, intersect, and except simply means. Alright, so now union, this allows us to combine two tables into one table, selecting unique values from both tables alone. So I'll take that again. So union allow us to combine two tables into into a single table rather. So it allows us to combine two tables into a single table, selecting unique values from both tables. And both tables must have the same number of columns and the same data types. So we would do well to create tables so that you can understand exactly what we mean. And when we say union all is the same definition for the union, but the only difference is that it includes non-unique values. So that's the difference. So the union all allows us to include non-unique values. So even if, say, if a value repeats multiple times using the union all, it's going to include that value based on the number of times it occurs. And if you are using union alone, it's going to include the original value excluding its duplicate. So we would start by creating two tables that have the same data type. Alright, so I will just say create table union 1, and I will give it a serial number. I will say movie, character variant 50, and I would say the year the movie came out. So that would be in so we can use the date format here. Use the date format. Alright, so whichever one you want. So we have already defined the data type already when we started the course. So of course we will just be doing a revision, obviously. So yeah, also dates. Alright, so we can now start inserting into both tables. So insert into union 1. So you just write movie yeah. So values, I can just say Shazam. And when you are writing the date data type, it is written within quotation marks. And of course, it follows the official format, the year, the month, and the day. So, I think it was 2022, I remember. 33, 3rd month, 31. I wouldn't know. Then we have man 2023 and 10 18 we have Superman. Right. And you also want to insert into union 2. This should also be movie and year. Set the values. Spider-Man. So I'll just copy this other one, this last two. Alright. After that, I will highlight everything to execute the code at the same time. So I told you that the only reason why SQL would run this is if you separate them with a semicolon. Then you can save the data. So now we said the union allows us to combine two tables together into one table, excluding unique values. So now we can see here that Batman and Superman were repeated in these two tables. So now the only thing that will happen is that it's going to select Shazam, Batman, Superman, and the only new addition, which was Spider-Man, into the table if we decide to use the union. So if we use the union, it's only going to select the value that is different, that does not exist in both tables. So that's what it's going to do. Alright, so you can just come here and say select asterisk from union 1, and you say union select asterisk from union 2. So that's the query. That's how you write it. It allows you to select. Now you can see we have Superman, Batman, Shazam, Spider-Man. So you can see that it did not repeat Superman, Batman again. Batman and Superman were not repeated. It just gave us the only new difference from both values. So now you can also order this thing. You can order it. Say order by serial number. And you can see ascending order, so that it can be neat. You can see that I've arranged it in an ascending order. So you can do it that way. Alright, so that's how you can use the union. So let us see how we can use the union all. So to save ourselves the stress of typing code, just come down here. So I'll just give it a title. This is union, using union alone. Then you come down here to union all. Union all, you paste it. So now you discover that all the duplicate values would be included in this query. That's the difference. So you can see that it includes everything, both the duplicates and all that. So that's how you can use your union all. So let's now see the definition for intersect. So intersect. How does this work? So this is similar to your inner join anyway. And union is similar to your outer join, your full outer join. So now intersect allows us to select values common to two tables and put everything inside one table. So of course, those two tables need to have the same data type and the same number of columns before this can work. So it allows us to select values from two tables and put those values inside one table, with those tables having the same number of columns and the same data type. So you select similar values from both tables. So you just come here to select everything from union 1 intersect, select everything from union 2. Come here and say order by. Now if I say order by without specifying whether it's in an ascending order or a descending order, it would automatically choose ascending order. So if I leave it like this would still be in an ascending order, and it selects the values that are common to both tables. Now the except statement. So except statement allows us to be able to select values. That is, it allows us to compare two tables together and select all the values inside the first table or the second table that do not belong to either tables. So for example, if I'm writing my select if I'm writing my select from union 1 first using the except, this simply means that I want to select all the values inside union 1 that are not inside union 2. So this would only select all the values in union 1 and leave out the values that are in union 2. That is similar values, the values that are similar in union 1 or any value at all in union 2. So it selects values particular to union 1 alone, excluding out all the other values, whether values in common or values belonging to union 2. So you can just come here and say except, select everything from union 1 except select everything from union 2. Now this will select all the values in union 1 alone, which I don't think. So it's only Shazam we have in union 1 that is not inside union 2. And you can of course try the other way around also for your union 2. So with that being said, this brings us to the end of this session. So till our next video, have a good day.